Hello guys, I'm Startfin. You may know me from the Bukkit plugin AutoRank that I've written and still programming on. I can show you this. And while this is loading, here this is AutoRank. Quite a few people are familiar with it, as you can see. And this plugin, well, it basically allows you to make automatic ranking possible. So you could say, well, that player needs at least $1,000 and needs to play for at least 10 minutes before he can before he will rank up to the next rank. And that's fun and all, but I'm sure there are quite a few people that want to know how to write plugins. And I'm not going to explain how to write this particular plugin because it is really complex and really advanced. But I'm going to show you in these few tutorials that I'm going to make how to make a basic plugin. And this basic plugin is, well, it's really basic. It's just it will allow a player to heal another player or himself, and the console can also perform that command. So, well, we're gonna make something like /heal and then the player name, or if you leave out the player name, you'll heal yourself. So that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, there are some things that I'm not going to explain because it's very basic. So you need to understand, for this video at least, you need to understand a bit about programming, and especially Java, because that's what we're going to use. And well, I'll walk you through how to set up your first plugin, but it's really basic, so advanced programmers don't really have to watch this because, well, they already know for how long. They already know how to do special things. So I will be going on an chat for me, well, about me for a bit. So if you don't want to hear that, just skip ahead. I'll put an annotation on the screen as you're watching right now, so that you can skip ahead, and well, we can start off really fresh. Okay, so for you that still are still there, a bit about myself. I'm a programmer. Right now I'm 16, so I'm not that old actually. And I've written quite a few plugins. If you I can show you my history of plugins, as you may call it. Um, a few of the big ones: AutoRank, FoundAus, LiveMC, and Simple Suffix. Anti-Addict was my first one back in was it 2012? Yeah, 2012. So I've already well, I already have experience for about 2 years, so I really know what I'm doing. I guess I should know what I'm doing, right? But I don't. Um. Anyhow, I I'm starting opening Eclipse. Yes, I'm using Eclipse, not NetBeans or IntelliJ. I'm sorry for that, but it was my first IDE and I like it. So why change? Never change the winning team, right? Okay, well, as you can see, I have quite a few plugins in here. Quite a few with the A starting for some reason. AutoRank is one of the big ones. It's I can show you. Well, it's not like a private code or something. It's on my GitHub, so you can review it. It looks like, if you're an advanced programmer, or not really advanced, but if you're experienced, I guess then you can understand all of this pretty quickly. But if you're just starting out, don't worry. If you program for a while, you'll get to understand this as well. And might even help me with the AutoRank plugin. I'm not sure. And also, one way of learning programming to program, I started with I'm looking right at my book now. Can't find it. It's a Dutch book because I'm Dutch. Sorry, that's why my English pronunciation is not the best. Um, anyhow, I started learning programming when my dad gave me a programming book, and then I just started to make plugins. And NC-Addict was the first one. Oh man, it's such a horrible plugin. It's one of the first plugins I wrote. It's quite clean now. Sorry for the backward noise if you hear that. But it looks quite clean. It's not well like this, commenting like codes gone. It's not the best, but it's something. And I think this is over around 100 plugins now. Don't count, but I think it's around 100. Not all of them are public. I think a fifth of them is public and the rest is private or just testing, like Packet Tester and some my first app. Well, I started to write Android code as well, so that's why one of the projects I did. Library plugin is Java UI. Just the basic ones. I want to test things. It's always good to test things, even though you're not going to publish them, or even though they have already been done before. It's not a problem to always learn how things work, and that's how I get the test things like socket serve and socket test. That's what I learned about. This is really one class plugin, but it's not. Well, it's not really a plugin. It's a Java application that just sends a message to the server and reads it out loud to the client. It's really simple, but that's the way how I got to learn sockets from Java. So I think that's the best way to learn, and that's how I'm going to. I encourage you to do that as well. And maybe you don't like it. Well, you don't have to. So if you don't like it, well, you can leave and do other things like play outside or something. So, well, that's about me and my plugin history. So let's get on with the code then, shall we? So first things first. Obviously, we're gonna create a new Java project, and we'll call it. Well, I talked about it earlier. It wasn't. It's going to be a healer plugin. So I'm just gonna call it very originally healer. Well, it's not gonna be published anyway, so it's not a big problem. And then we have to create a new package. And the package is, there's not really, well, there's a standard, because there's always a standard for everything. But it's most of the people use their website in reverse. So let's say you have your own google.com. You could use com.google, like this. And then your plugin, like healer. But obviously I don't, so I'm not going to use Google. I always like to prefer me.startfin. It's a real odd name, but it's really cool. And then the plugins, because I don't only write plugins, I also write Android applications and other Java applications. So it's always good to specify what kind of project it is. And then we just call it healer. It has to be an original name, not like well, not original but unique. Because if that two, I've had plugins like this one, Faction Frisk and Faction Loan. I'm not going to show you the code because it's it's private. But I had the problem that I didn't use Faction Frisk, so those two were exactly the same. Like this one was Faction Frisk and Faction Frisk 2 times. Then I ran them both on the same server and they crashed the server, so you shouldn't do that. That's why they should be unique. And let's create a main class, just for the sake, because we can. I'll call it healer. Just your plugin's name. Class is the best. And I set it up so Eclipse automatically adds this like this what you call it? Well, a description or Java doc. So I just write small test plugin that allows well, it's just a basic thing, so everybody knows what we're going to do. And then I'll just leave it like this. But we have to do some pretty important things. The first we have to do is we have to get the library from Bukkit.com. Luckily, I already opened that. You go to dl.bukkit.org, and you see this page, and you click alternate versions. Sorry. And then you don't go to Craft Bukkit, but you go to Bukkit, because you don't build against Craft Bukkit. It's not the best. Well, it's not meant to. You need to, well, if you get advanced or get experienced, you can use Craft Bukkit like NMS code. But right now, all you need is Bukkit. And then I prefer to take the development build, but if you take the beta build or the recommended build, each of them will do perfectly fine. So I already downloaded it, so I'm not going to download it again. And then you go into Eclipse, to Healer, or whatever your plugin name is, and then Properties, Java build path. I build against 1.6, Java 1.6. Unfortunately, well, at the time of making this video, Java 1.8 already came out, but most servers are running 1.7, which is good. Some I see are running 1.6, oddly enough, because 1.7 is way better. So you should start converting there, please. And for the time's sake, I still have to be on 1.6 as long as there's one person that's using it, and that's I don't. Well, I still stay on 1.6. Anyway, we're going to add an external jar, and then I've already put it here, Bukkit. A lot of other things I use. So Bukkit, and then you opened it, or well, it's not really opening, and then you then we have it as a library. Now we can use its API, and that's like the that's the code they gave us to work with microservice. And the first wing, no, let's not start just yet. This is the basic setup. But we miss only one thing. We only miss one thing, sorry. And that's our plugin.yml, because we need a plugin.yml. I'll just get one from my autorank. I will put this in the description of the video, so you don't have to like copy it all. And then I'll move it in here. I'll have to change a few things around. You see, main, that's our main class, so that will be the package name plus the first class name. So we do me.startfin.plugins healer. So this is the package name, and that's the class name, our main class. And that's where it's going to search for a few methods that we're going to define later on. Well, our name will be, name of the plugin will be healer. Soft depend, you don't have to worry about it. It's basically when you depend on other plugins, but we're not going to depend on the plugins right now. We don't have a website, so nope. Version is going to be 1.0. Authors, well, I'm the author. And our description will be a plugin that allows players to heal each other. And we have one command that will be heal. Description will be, well, heal a player. Usage, heal player name. That's just going to show when you do type/heal. And alias, well, we don't have one, so we don't need that. And also, we don't want to like all these permissions can be removed. we don't want everyone to be able to heal. So what we do is we make a permission that will allow players to heal others, and if the player doesn't have that permission, he can't heal players. So let's make let's make, just for the sake right now, healer.heal. It's not very original, but hey. Allows a player to heal. And default means if it's true, like this, then everyone gets it at default. If it's false, then nobody gets it. And if it's OP, then only the OPs get it. And you can specify, if you have a permissions plugin, you can specify who gets it as well. But default now, the OPs will get the permission by default. So that's a handy thing. So that's set up now. I hope I can remember to put that there in the description. And so that was really the first part, and I hope to see you and join me at the next part where we'll start coding. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.